Next topic, functions of money. Already fifth chapter is going on, and then next topic is a functions of money. The main functions of money can be classified into four categories. One is a primary function, second one is a secondary function, third one is a contingent function, and fourth one other functions. Let us see one by one. First one is a primary functions. Money as a medium of exchange. As a medium of exchange, money act as an intermediary. The functions of money also separate the transaction in time and place because the seller and buyer of a commodity are not required to perform the transaction at the same time and place. Money has the quality of general acceptability and all the exchange take place in terms of money. The use of money, the transaction has now come to be divided into two parts. One, money is obtained through the sale of goods and services. So, money is used for the sales transaction, and this is known as a sales. Second one, money is obtained to buy goods and services. First one is a sale transaction, sale of goods and services. This is known as a sale. Second one, money is obtained to buy goods and services. This is known as a purchase. So these two activities, buying and selling the commodities, compulsory you have to use money. So money is a medium of exchange. So modern exchange system, money act as a intermediary in sales and purchase. Use online transaction. So money through the Google Pay and digital changing of money. So you buy and sale of the commodity only used for intermediary of money. And second on, money as a measures of value. The monetary unit measures and expresses the value of all goods and services. When the value are expressed in terms of money, the price quoted in terms of money become the focus of the people behavior. The second important function is a measures of value. So it is measures of the value of goods and services. The price of all goods and services are expressed in terms of money. The money thus looked upon the collective measures of value. In all the values are expressed in terms of money. It is easier to determine the rate of exchange between these various types of goods in a commodity. So example, for you want to any one of the product at the times at the time you measure the value of the price of the commodity. So the measures of the value, so how much you will be given to that commodity, so you decided. So the money as a measures of value. And second one is a secondary functions. Money as a store of value. Money is that it act as a store of value. The good chosen as a money is always something which can be kept for a long period without deterioration or wastage. It is a form in which a wealth can be kept intact from 1 year to the next. Money is a bridge from the present to the future. So you have to use for money present purpose and then use for the future purpose. Savings is a done in terms of commodity were not a permanent, but the invention of money, the this difficult has now disappeared and savings are now done in terms of money. Money also serve as a excellent store of wealth. Example, for so you want to buy a new buildings, so new uh, house or machinery, so that product including of the value of money. So money is a stored for goods, so visible goods or invisible goods or anything. So the value is measured and store of things. So as it can be easily converted into the other marketable assets, such as a land, machinery, plant, and etc. Everything you have to store the money, so that money is a valuable. So money as a store of valuable. Money as a store of value is meant to meet unforeseen emergencies and to pay the debt. Money is not a Money is not, of course, not only the store of value. These functions can be shown by the valuable assets. One can store the value for the future by holding short-term promissory notes, bonds, mortgages, prepared stock, household furniture, houses, land, or any other kind of valuable goods. So the people stored for that materials used as a money. Second one is money as a standard of deferred payment. Money facilitates borrowing by the firm and businessman from bank and other non-bank financial institution. The buying and selling of shares, debentures, and securities is made possible by the money. And then borrowing and lending were difficult to problem under the water system. And then my absence of money, the borrowed amount could be returned only in terms of goods and services. So you borrowed from other persons, is compulsory you return the amount. So goods or services, may be anything you do, you will return. But in a modern money economy, has a greatly facilitated the borrowing and the lending process. So money now act as the standard of deferred payment. And the next one is a money as a means of transforming purchasing power. So money is a generally acceptable means of payment and act as a store of value. It keeps transferring value from person to person and place to place. The money is easily transferred from other places. And then next one is a contingent function. The basis of the credit system. The commercial bank cannot create credit without having sufficient money in reserve. The credit instrument drawn by businessmen have always a cash guarantee supported by their business. And second one is a money facilitate distribution of national income. So money also help in this distribution of national income. So rewards of factor in this form of wage, rent, interest, profit, and determined the paid in the formal money. And then third one is money helps to equalize marginal utility and marginal productivity. The consumer can obtain the maximum utility only if he incur the expenditure on various commodity in such a manner as to equalize the marginal utility occurring from them. So last one, money increases productivity of capital. Money is the most liquid form of capital. So the people to hold the cash for liquidity sake. You know that already. It's a day-to-day transaction for future purpose and then speculative. So expecting for the rate of interest. So the people to hold the cash for different way to secure them. And next one is other functions. Money help us to maintain the repayment capacity. So the quality of general acceptability. Money is a easily acceptability. To maintain its repayment capacity, every firm has to keep the assets in this form of liquid cash. So all the firms followed the liquid cash. The firm ensure it the repayment capacity with the money. So like a bank, insurance company, and even the government have to keep some liquid money. So cash also to hold keep our accountant to maintain their repayment capacity. And second one is money repayment centralized purchasing power. Generalized purchasing power. The purchasing power is kept in terms of money can be put into any use. It is not a necessary to money should be used to only the purpose of which it have been showed. So what purpose? So centralizing purchasing power, the money to hold the people to kept and use it. Next one is money gives liquidity to capital. Money is the most liquid form of capital. It can be put to any uses. Anytime you have to use the liquid form of capital. And then next topic is money supply. So money supply, according to this view, money supply is defined as a currency. Currency with the public and demand deposits with the commercial bank. The supply of money at any moment is to total amount of money in the economy. And then supply of money means the total amount of money. Total amount of money in the economy. The amount of money which is the circulation of an economy at any given time. And then money supply play a role in the determination of price level and interest rate. Money supply viewed at a given point of time is a stock, and over the period of time it's a flow. And second one is a meaning of money supply. Money supply is a stock variable. RBI publishes information for four alternative measures of money supply. So, namely M1, M2, M3, and M4. These forms uses a money supply. So, the currency notes are issued by Reserve Bank of India. So, who is a currency note issued? Means RBI. RBI issued the currency notes, and then RBI issued the note. So RBI governor before the days to give the one resolution. So you see the note, the RBI governor to give the promise, because I promise to pay the bearer the sum of rupees, to give the assurance to giving a previous day. So nowadays, so the because removed. I promise to pay bearer the sum of rupees only is there. Nowadays is there only this message only. See the rupees note. So next one is a coin. Coin are issued by the Ministry of Finance, Government of India. So beside this, a balance is saving or current account deposits are held by the public in commercial banks is also considered money. So currency notes are also called as a fit money and the legal tender money. So currency notes are so called fit money and legal tender money. And then money supply, namely M1 means what? M1 means currency, coins, and deposits. And then demand deposits also included for M1. And then next one is a M2. M2 equal to M1. Already you know that M1 means currency, coins, and demand deposits also included. So next one, M1 plus savings deposits with post office savings bank. And next one is a M3. M3 included for M2. All the savings, deposits and post office savings and bank savings also included for M2. And the next one is added for time deposits. So short term, long term, and then time period mentioned. The deposits also included for commercial and cooperative banks also included for M3. And next one is a M4. M4 equal to M3 plus total deposit with post office. And the next one is a important one more question. M1 and M2 are known as a narrow money, and M3 and M4 are also known as a broad money. And then you know the currency already, you know that message. So once again I tell them. So the new symbol designed by, so currency symbol, you know that currency symbol, you see the book. So D Udayakumar, a postgraduate of IIT Bombay, was finally selected by the UN cabinet of 15th July 2010. The new symbol is an amalgamation of Devanagari or Ra and the Roman R without the stem. The symbol of the Indian rupee came into use of 5th July 2010. After America, Britain, Japan, Europe Union, India is the fifth country to accept the unique currency symbol. And then next one is a determinants of money supply. So the four determinants of money supply. First one is a CDR. CDR means currency deposit ratio. So the people hold cash deposited into the bank. It is the ratio of money held by the public in currency to that they hold in a bank deposits. That is CDR. And then RD or reserve deposit ratio. So reserve money already. So every bank is a commercial bank and other banks to keep the reserve for particular percentage in our bank. So the reserve money consists of two things. One is a wallet cash in bank, and second one is a deposit of commercial bank with RBI. So commercial banks is a deposited with some amount of RBI. So that is reserve deposit ratio. Third one is a CRR, cash reserve ratio. It is the fraction of the deposit the bank must keep with RBI. All the banks deposit with the RBI. That is the cash reserve ratio. So minimum level, the Reserve Bank of India required to keep a minimum reserve of 200 crores of this. 115 crores must be in a gold and 85 crores in the foreign security to keep in the cash reserve ratio, to keep the reserve bank also keep the required money. So minimum reserve ratio is reserved in the RBI bank. So other banks also reserve in the RBI. And fourth one is a statutory liquidity ratio. Then SLR means secondary reserve ratio. SLR effect of reducing money supply with the commercial bank for lending purpose. At the same time, SLR is a lawyering, so increase the money supply with the bank for advances. So SLR increases means to give the bank advances, supply of bank money, supply of the money supply with the bank for advances. At the same time, so SLR reduces the money supply with the commodity bank from lending purpose. And then next one is a quantity theory. Quantity theory of money. The quantity theory of money explains the relationship between quantity of money and value of money. So that is the two relationship. The quantity theory money explain the quantity of money and value of money. So this theory applying the two approaches. The quantity theory money so given by Fisher, that is a called Fisher transaction approach, and second one is a cash balance approach. I'll first introduction of Fisher quantity theory of money. The quantity theory of money is a very old theory. This is a very old theory, is a quantity theory money. It was first propounded in 1588 by an Italian economist Tom Chetty, but is the credit for popularizing this theory in recent year rightly belonging to well-known American economist Irving Fisher, who Irving Fisher so popularized this theory. So Irving Fisher wrote the book The Purchasing Power of Money in the year 1911. He gave it a quantitative form in terms of his famous equation of exchange. So the identification, the quantity theory means Irving Fisher. So Irving Fisher means equation of exchange. So the general form of equation, the Fisher equation is MV equal to PT. That is the formula for. So Fisher means equation of exchange theory. So that is the formula for MV equal to PT. So you know MV equal to PT. MV means M means money supply or quantity of money. Money supply or quantity of money indicating for M. V, and next one is a V. V is a velocity of money. How many times the money rotating? So the velocity of money. And then P is a price level. T is a volume of transaction. The money transferred from how many times rotating to the people are rotating to different hands. So that indicate for MV equal to PT. The Fisher point out that in a country during any given period of time, the total quantity of money. So MV already already I told MV equal to quantity of money. The quantity of money will be equal to total value of goods and services bought and sold. So bought and sold means PT, transaction, the price transaction. So MV equal to PT. MV means quantity of money, and then PT means total value of all goods and services brought and sold. So MV equal to supply of money and PT equal to demand for money. You know that MV equal to supply and PT equal to demand. So these two relationship of demand and supply indicating. It is the equation is a refers to cash transaction equation. So the how many times cash rotating from other hands. So that is a cash transaction equation. It is expressed as a P equal to MV divided by T. The quantity of money determines the price level. So the quantity, which one is determined? The quantity of money is determined the price level, and the price level in its term the varies directly with the quantity of money. So provided V and T remain constant, V and T is remain constant. So the equation considered only is a currency money. So modern economy, bank demand deposits are credit money, and its a velocity play a vital part in the business. The Fisher extent is the original equation of exchange include the bank deposits M1 and velocity of V1. So revised this equations. The first equation is a MV equal to PT. So that equation is revised to PT equal to MV plus M dash V dash. So P is a price level. Price level is equal for money value. So money supply plus bank deposits. M dash indicating for M dash or M1 indicating for bank deposits, and V1 is a velocity equal to divided by T. P equal to MV. MV indicate for money, supply of money, and then M1 V1 means bank deposit and velocity divided by T means volume of transaction, how many times that money rotated. So the revised the equation, the price level is determined by the quantity of money in circulation M, the velocity circulation of money is V, the volume of bank credit money is M1, the velocity circulation of credit money is V1, the volume of trade is T, the volume of trade is T. And you see the diagram. So you see the diagram, part 1, part 2. So A indicating for what, and then B indicating for what. You see the diagram. The x-axis. So you see the diagram. The diagram is not clear, but you see the diagram. So 45 degree. You see the first diagram A. So 0 degree la 45 degree line. So go to upward. P equal to functions of M. P equal to functions of M. That P equal to functions of M indicating for the relationship expressed by the curve. OP equal to functions of M. So origin. So functions of money. Functions of money supply indicating. So already you know that supply of money. So supply of money, what relationship? Is a direct relationship. Direct relationship with supply of money and price. So that curve slope upward. You know that already. You know that supply of money. So same explain. So x-axis measure for quantity of money and y-axis measure for price level. So first you see the diagram OM level of quantity of money. First OM level of quantity of money. So price level is a OP. OP. Next, the price level increased. So quantity demand also increased to quantity of money increased to OM2, and then price is OP2, OP2, and then money's quantity of money also increased for 4 times. So M2 is a doubled and M4 is a fourth times. So money supply increased for fourfold to OM4. At the same time, the price level also increased to OP2 to OP4 increased. So this relationship explained quantity money is increased, the price level also increased. You see the next diagram. So sloping downwards. You see the diagram, you see the curve of I divided by P equal to functions of money. So already you know that a demand curve sloping downwards from left to right. Already you know that. So x-axis measure for same quantity of money, and then y-axis measure for value of money. So the quantity of money is increased to O M, and then value of money increased to I divided by P, and then quantity of money is increased to OM2, and then the value of money is reduced to OP1 OP1 to OI, sorry, OIP1 reduces to OIP2, and then the fourth, so doubled, is increased quantity of money. At the same time, the quantity of money increased to fourfold, and then value of money decreased to OI divided by P2 to I divided by P4 is reduced. So this relationship is a quantity of money and value of money. The relationship is a inverse relationship. Okay, at the previous diagram explained the positive relationship between the price level and quantity of money, and then next diagram indicating for inverse relationship between these two. So that curve is a sloping curve. I O divided by P equal to functions of M, and then next one is a Cambridge approach or cash balance approach. The first one is a Marshall equation. So Marshall equation is expressed as a M equal to KPY. So M is a, already you know that M is a quantity of money, and Y refer for real income, aggregate real income of the commodity. P indicating for purchasing power of money, and K refer present for the fraction of the real income. K reference for the fraction of the real income which is the public desire to hold in the form of money. How much money hold to keep it ourselves? Who is a decided? The people is a desire how much hold cash in the form of money. So the price level P equal to M divided by KY, or the value of money is a reciprocal. So you know that reciprocals out of K, M formula for M equal to KPY. You let the out of the P means K, sorry, M divided by KY. So already you know that is a reciprocal means so upper one number is there. So 1 divided by P equal to KP KY divided by M. The value of money in terms of this equation can be found by dividing the total quantity of goods which is the public desire to hold out the total income by total supply of money. And then the Marshall equation, the value of money is influenced not only by changes in M, M indicating for quantity of money, by changes in K. You know that K is a fraction of the real income. So money changes, so real income also changed. And then next one is a Keynes equation. The Keynes equations expressed N equal to Pk, or P equal to N divided by K. So N is the total supply of money. P is the general price level of which goods indicating consumption goods. So price level, general price level of consumption goods. So you want to purchase your consumption goods means how much consumption goods you consumed is determined by the price level. And K is the total quantity of consumption units of the people decided to keep in the form of cash. Already you know that K is a real balance because it is measured in terms of consumer goods. So K is a real balance, and then the K indicating for consumer goods. So Keynes people desire to hold money is unaltered by monetary authority. So the price level volume of money can be established through the regulating quantity of money. The Keynes extent is the equation n equal to p into k plus r k1 or p equal to n divided by k plus rk. So n means, so the Keynes equations explained n is a total money supply, and p indicating for price level of consumer goods, and k the people desire hold money in the hands. So hold money in the hands means consumer goods into the total income of them. How many consumer goods purchased? So the people to hold the cash in our hand. R is a cash reserve ratio. And then K1 is a community total money deposit in bank in terms of consumer goods. And then K is the extent equation. Also, Keynes assumes that a K and K1 and R are the constant. These are two. K is a total, so hold money. The people desire to hold money, indicating for K, and K dash together. K dash means the total money deposit. The total money deposits in a bank, and R indicating for cash reserve ratio. These three are constant. The price level only changes. P is a price level is changed directly and proportionately changing the volume of money. So these are all these topic included for this session. So important headings are there. One is a money supply. So once again I repeat the topics, important topics. One is a money supply, and then meaning of money supply. M1 and M2 is a narrow money, and M3 and M4 is a broad money. And then Reserve Bank of India introducing the rupee note, and then Ministry of Finance introduced the coins, and then quantity theory, the Fisher quantity theory. So very very important, that Fisher theory is called equation of exchange. The Fisher formula MV equal to PT. And then the functions of money. The functions of money, the four types. One is a primary function, and another one is a secondary function, and a third one is a contingent functions. So these are also included in this topic. Thank you, students.